Hello everyone, this is Andrea Tonelli, and in this video I will attempt to answer a question that I get asked all the time, which is, what are my views and opinions on YouTube's copyright rules and regulations? This is a hot topic and it has caused such a lot of friction and grief amongst artists and labels, YouTube video creators, and even people who are none of these things, but they just have a strong opinion on what copyright is and what it isn't, and how we should be protected, or even if it should be protected at all. And as someone who has been writing, recording, producing my own albums for such a long time, I think my perspective might be of some interest and maybe even useful to you if you're looking into entering this crazy business of music. As many of you know, YouTube has a detailed system in place for dealing with copyrighted material. If you use a song by an artist or a label in your video, they will be notified by YouTube, and then YouTube will act on their behalf by demanding certain actions on your part. One of them might be just demonetizing the video, which simply means that no revenue can be generated by the ads in the video. It could also mean redirecting that revenue to the copyright owner and away from your channel, or it might even require that you remove the offending section of the video, which means if you used a piece of a song in a certain section, you might be asked to take that section out or just to mute it. And in a worst case scenario, you might even get a strike, which in YouTube is a big deal because with 3 of those, your channel will be permanently deleted. So it's certainly something you have to watch out for if you're a YouTube creator. Now, we could get into all the minute details and ramifications of this on a case-by-case scenario, but I think we can all agree that it makes sense, both ethically and financially, that songwriters get to choose if and how they profit from their music. Now, the implementation of this, I think, could certainly be improved, and it will in time, I think, but the main idea here is that artists should have control of their art. Now, how much control they should have and how much is too much, I think is another topic, but I can only speak for myself here and how I deal with my music licensing and copyright. Basically, if anyone is using my songs in their videos, first of all, I'm quite happy about it and grateful. I also think, though, that I should be notified and also be able to choose to be compensated for the use of the music or not. After all, I wrote the music, I recorded it and produced it. I fronted all the cost of production and manufacturing of the album with no guarantee at all of a return and no advance from a label. So certainly people are free to ignore my music, and they certainly don't owe me anything, but if they do choose to use it, then my rights, I think, should be granted. In my case, because I own all my master recordings, I can decide to grant a license, for example, for a specific use, or waive my rights altogether on a specific case. Maybe it's an educational thing, or maybe it's a cause that I support and is close to me, like it happened before. But, you know, labels work in a different way. A lot of artists do not control their masters, and so a label does it for them, and so I ensure a lot of content gets blocked or taken down or demonetized and so on, and a lot of tension and animosity is created in the YouTube community against a certain artist, for example, where really they don't have much of a say about it. And I think that overall the system put into place by YouTube, by and large, it works and is well intentioned. You know, there are going to be some rough edges because it's a complex platform in an ever-changing tech world, but overall I think that it works. When copyright control standards were tightened on YouTube just a few years ago, I remember a lot of people got up in arms about it. But that is simply because they were used to circumventing copyright laws, and that is not something that is sustainable for anyone, neither the composers or the musicians, but also in the long run for the actual YouTube creators. I also think that artists and labels sometimes just get it wrong when it comes to navigating these waters. Having videos taken down, getting channels to be given a strike, forcing creators to edit their videos beyond recognition, to remove the offending parts and so on. Now, this is not only artistically, but financially, I think there is a lot to be gained by just letting experienced YouTubers work their magic. We musicians often are not really well versed in that. YouTubers can help artists reach sometimes extremely wide audiences thanks to their expertise, just making videos. To me, it doesn't make any sense, either ethically or financially, to just strangle other creatives with an abusive application of these rights. But, you know, in the end, it is their right. And I think artists or whoever acts on their behalf, they have every right to protect and manage the use of their work in any way they see fit. even to the point of damaging their career, and even to the point of making me think they're just a bunch of assholes. In my small case, it is my policy to let anyone use my music unless the content of their video is really promoting something that's abhorrent to me. Then I would just ask them not to use my music. But as far as monetizing the video goes, I'm very open to split royalties for certain kinds of videos when there's a lot of work on the YouTube creator part. And on some other videos, I might just decide that if they are monetized, I should be receiving the revenue. And now the YouTube system doesn't yet offer such fine-tuned options, so that is not always possible, but it's certainly something that I'm very open to. And now regarding me getting copyright notices for using my own music on my own videos on my own channel. This might sound strange, but it really isn't. My distributor, CityBaby, is notified by YouTube's magic algorithms of any use of my songs, including on my own videos. Then they would act on my behalf and they would receive the ad money and then pay later to me. But since I'm using my channel a lot, I want to control the revenue and the process myself directly from YouTube. So basically, every time I put up a video with some of my music, I get a notification of copyright infringement. Then I have to file a dispute. My distributor knows about this, and then very quickly, in a week or so, they will clear it and then revert those rights back to me. Now, this sounds strange from the outside, and it might even sound abusive in a way, but it's really not. It's just part of how things work. The reason I want to control my own channel's revenue and monetization are financial. I get to keep the ad revenue without paying a percentage to the distributor. And they're also related to quality control. This is most important because if I control monetization of my videos, I can choose not to have an ad every 5 minutes in my videos and spoil the fun for my viewers. So I still let CityBaby take care of every other use of my music on YouTube, on every other channel, or even on every other platform, but I control my own channel. So overall, I think YouTube is doing the best it can to provide rights protection while at the same time allowing their platform to function. At times, I think this causes some problems on both sides, and sometimes the use that artists and creators make of these rights might seem excessive or questionable, but then I think they will probably suffer some kind of consequence rather, and they will have to adjust in order not to lose their viewers or their listeners. So these are my views on this controversial topic. It is a sensitive subject because the parties involved are invested creatively and therefore emotional in this. And when passion and emotion run high, it's really hard to be objective. I hope that you found this video interesting and maybe even useful if you're looking at a career in music or as a content creator. And if you did, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and all the good stuff that really help out the channel. All right, I will see you very soon with a new one. Take care, and thank you very much for watching.